and today I'm going to be talking about Mortal Coil. That's the book 5 of the Skulduggery Pleasant series. With Valkyrie struggling to protect her dark secret, Skulduggery and the gang are more vulnerable than ever, just as a plague of body-snatching remnants are released upon the world. So yes, this is a pretty acute description of the whole book. If you don't know about Valkyrie's dark secret, that is that Valkyrie's true name is actually Darkness. And then earlier in book 4, Dark Days, we had gotten to know that a person called Darkness will come over and will destroy the whole world. Obviously, others don't know that it's Valkyrie, and now Valkyrie is trying to, protect that secret. She does not want everyone to die because of her. Saying this whole thing in more detail during the summary. Our book 5, Mortal Coil, starts off with Reed. He has a task to actually use a remnant to find out who the next Deathbringer will be. We don't know who the Deathbringer is yet. We don't even know what a Deathbringer is. Remnants are basically little slices of darkness and evil who fly around from body to body and inhabit them, and people do bad things. After that, Skulduggery and Valkyrie are looking for Davina Mark because they suspect that the sanctuary that had been blown up towards the end of Dark Days was because of Davina Mark. Later they find out that she's been tracked down by a person called Tesseract. And Tesseract is a deadly killer. If he touches your bone, your whole skeleton system will just collapse down. They're kind of trying to not protect, but they're trying to get Davina and kind of to find out who made her blow up the sanctuary. She would not have had done it herself. She did it because of a reason. So that's what Skulduggery and Valkyrie are trying to find out. They do find Davina and then they decide to interrogate her with the help of Ravel, our newest grandmate since Theorid Guild had been put in prison. Ghastly, Tanith, Val, they are trying to interrogate Davina. Unfortunately, during the interrogation, what Tesseract has managed to find Davina Mark, and then he has killed her. So yes, that's the last hope of finding out who is behind this greater plot to take over the Dublin Sanctuary. This is basically like the magical government. That happens when Valkyrie is battling her own inner self, trying to find out that what's the matter with this whole darkness thing. Darkness, since it's Valkyrie's true name, Valkyrie assumes that someone will actually use her true name against her and make her do things. So if anyone knows my true name, they can actually control me and have absolute power over me. That means that I cannot, do anything by myself anymore. So Valkyrie goes over to Dr. Nye. Dr. Nye is a Krenga. That's the short form for this word up here. And I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Yes, she goes to meet Dr. Nye, who promises to seal her true name. My true name, and I know it, so someone can actually seal my true name for me. That means that no one else will ever be able to use my true name against me. But while this is happening, Nae, being a really evil person and a Krenga, he double crosses Valkyrie and kind of, kills her. Even though her body is still alive, yet she isn't living anymore. Valkyrie manages to make it out of there alive. Now she's telling Skulduggery about this whole true name thing, and Skulduggery for some reason is taking this news very calmly and without reacting much. Thankfully, it feels that everything is now going to be safe. Obviously, that's not the case because, where would the rest of the book go then? When Valkyrie and Fletcher, who are now together, have gone out for, dancing during Christmas Eve, that time they see weird flecks of darkness running all over the place. These are the remnants. Somehow they are all loose. All 7,000, 8,000 of them have been released from the Midnight Hotel, as I had talked about in Dark Days. Yes, now these remnants have actually possessed many people. Like all mortals are now having black-lipped stuff and everything. They have black veins all over their body. And all these remnants are only doing this so they can find darkness. Friends love causing trouble and chaos and destruction and everything. That's why darkness to them is actually kind of a god. Unfortunately, most of their best fighters have also been possessed by the remnants, like Ravel, who is one of Skulduggery's friend and is also a dead man. Dead men were the group of there were 7 people who would always take these suicide missions, but they always came back alive most of the time. And Ravel's a dead man, Ghastly is another dead man, Skulduggery is a dead man, literally. Then you have Saracen Rue, Dexter Vex, Larrikin, and Hopeless. But Ravel is possessed by these remnants. Then even one of their military colonels during the war, he was a really influential person, and he's also been possessed by these remnants. Thankfully, the only people who aren't are Ghastly, Tanith, China, Skulduggery and Valkyrie, and Fletcher. Now, to stop these remnants from going any further and causing even more destruction than they already have, they need to get to McCreek's Ridge. I think that's the name.
Actually, they are called McGillicuddy's Reeks, not what I said earlier.
Over there, they have this extremely big soul catcher. Now, the soul catcher was what originally one of the remnants had been captured in during Dark Days. Scarab had captured one of the remnants in soul catcher from the necromancy temple, and that same remnant had actually been put in some psychic called as Finbar to find out who the next Deathbringer will be. They have a really huge soul catcher. So over there, they've planned to lure in all of the remnants. The plan seems to be going fine. Basically, what they're gonna do is, first of all, to start the soul catcher, they need a key. Skulduggery, China together, and Tanith and Valkyrie together go to find the key. Then Ghastly and Fletcher, because Fletcher's a teleporter, he can teleport to any place that he has actually seen. That's why Ghastly, Fletcher, and Valkyrie's uncle Gordon, who was previously dead, his Echo Stone. Echo Stone is basically your, fragment of your personality. So if a person sleeps with the Echo Stone with him for 3 days, of him will be captured in that stone, and people can talk to that person after he or she dies. And the plan seems to be going great, but unfortunately, Fletcher is possessed. He was the only mean of transport all of these remnants there. And unfortunately, things start going downhill from there. Valkyrie, Skulduggery, Tanith, and Ghastly, these are the only 4 people that they can trust, because even China has been possessed. And this is when Sanguine again re-enters the story. Thankfully, he's kind of working with the good side for once. And yeah, they managed to activate this whole thing, and all the remnants are now going away. The remnants have also entered Val, and that causes the darkness part of her personality to come out. It's actually her alter ego. Darkness has, darkness is not that mean. She's, a proper normal person. She just wants to experiment with things, and she's kind of like she wants to see everything that there is. Thankfully, Skulduggery manages to put down the darkness part of Valkyrie's personality. Now all the remnants are gone apart from one, who has actually entered Tanith. Tanith was now Valkyrie's, best friend apart from Skulduggery. Tanith was like a sister to her, and now Tanith is possessed by the remnant. And unfortunately, what happens in the end is that the remnant does not leave Tanith. It still remains with her for the course of the book, till the end. That's really sad. Tesseract, whose services were over after killing Davina War, he was being buried down into the earth, as we get to know from a different point of view. He does break out, and then later he sees a suit of armor made of shadows. Remind you of anything? Of course, that's Lord Vile's armor. Who is in it? And that's the cliffhanger for this book. Now for the review. I'd rate this book about a 10 on 10 because it's written pretty well. I mean, I personally loved the story a lot. It was kind of really interesting to see Valkyrie kind of mature from being the, young and kind of dependent girl into this strong woman. And yeah, especially the whole darkness plot of the whole thing. Valkyrie, main female strong protagonist, is actually a really dark and evil person. I just enjoyed it, and I think everyone who's read the series would love it as well, especially the different types of characters that we get to see, like a Krenga over here. This is Dr. Nye, this is Tesseract, the masked killer, then this is the headless horseman. I don't think you can see him that well, but here. That's it for the review. Thanks so much for listening in until the end, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.